Okay, Alex, I want you to think about a specific, universally stressful experience. A moment where you are trapped in a metal box. A staticky voice is shouting at you through a speaker. And you have exactly 10 seconds to make a decision before the person behind you starts honking their horn.
Oh, wow. That is a very intense way to start the podcast. But I know exactly what you're talking about. It is the drive through.
The drive? Through. Yes. Specifically, trying to order food at a fast food drive. Through in a second language.
Oh, that is a special kind of nightmare. On a scale of 1 to 10, my anxiety when I have to order at a drive through is easily a 9. Maybe a 10 if it is raining. The speaker box is crackling, and my phone battery is dead, so I cannot look up the menu online.
A 10. That is incredibly high. You are an intelligent, capable adult. You manage complex software projects? But a digital menu board and a headset. Wearing teenager make you want to put the car in reverse and drive home to cook?
It is not just the menu. Sophia, it is the speed. In my native language, I know the rhythm of the drive through. I know the slang. I know the unspoken rules. But in English, the vocabulary is so specific, and the pressure to be fast is immense.
I completely understand that. Going through a drive through is stressful, even for native speakers. The audio is often terrible. The menu changes constantly. And there is this unspoken rule that you have to order in exactly 15 seconds.
Exactly. And then you pull up to the speaker, and the voice comes through sounding like a robot underwater. Welcome to Burger Palace. Would you like to try our new spicy chicken sandwich? And do you want to make that a combo? And will that be for here or to go?
Laughs, the classic drive through monologue. It is like they are trained to say all of that in one single breath, so you cannot possibly process it.
Yes, and my brain just freezes. I know the word combo. I know the word here. But when they are all fired at me at 100 miles an hour, I panic. I had a terrible experience with this a few months ago.
Oh, I can hear the trauma in your voice. Do not hold out on me. Tell me the story.
I was hoping we would skip this part, but I know the rules of this podcast. Okay. Fine. I was working late. I was exhausted, and I just wanted a simple burger and fries. I pulled into the drive, through lane of a very popular fast food place.
Okay. Setting the scene. You are hungry. You are tired. And you just want a simple transaction.
Exactly. I rolled down my window. The speaker box was crackling. I could barely hear the voice. I managed to order a number 3 meal. The voice said, "Okay, a number 3. That will be $12.50. Please pull around to the second window."
Okay. Pull around to the second window is a very standard drive. Through instruction.
I know that now, but in that moment, my brain circuited. I knew the word pull. I knew the word around, and I knew the word window. But my tired, logical brain decided to interpret this literally. I thought, pull around? Around what? The building? And the second window? The first window was the speaker. The second window must be the front door of the restaurant.
Oh no! Alex, please tell me you did not do what I think you did.
I did. I put the car in drive. And instead of just moving forward 2 feet in the same lane, I turned the steering wheel and drove my car all the way around the outside of the building, through the parking lot, and pulled up to the front entrance door.
You drove around the entire building.
Yes,
Alex? No.
I did, with total, sincere confidence. I pulled up to the front glass doors, rolled down my window, and waited for my burger.
I am losing my mind. I am actually crying. What did the front of the restaurant look like?
There was no window to order at. It was just the main entrance. But standing outside, looking completely bewildered, was a young employee wearing a headset. He had run all the way from the back drive, through window to the front of the building. He looked at me, looked at his headset, and said, very slowly, "Dude, you were supposed to just pull forward 2 feet. You are at the front door."
Wiping away tears. Oh, Alex. That is incredible.
I was so confused for a split second. And then the realization hit me like a truck. Pull around in a drive. Through does not mean drive around the perimeter of the property. It just means move forward a short distance to the next station in the same lane. I wanted the asphalt to open up and swallow my car whole. I just mumbled, "Ah, yes." The second window. My mistake. And carefully backed up, feeling like the most foolish driver in the city.
I cannot breathe. You are at the front door. You made the drive. Through employee do a lap around the building because you took pull around too literally.
I did. I spent the next 20 minutes eating my fries in the parking lot, convinced that the entire staff was talking about the guy who treated the drive through lane like a racetrack.
Okay. First of all, that is a hilarious story. Second of all, I promise you, that employee probably forgot about it 5 minutes later. Drive. Through workers see weird things every single night. You are just a drop in the ocean of fast food weirdness.
Logically, I know that. But in the moment, you feel so foolish. You are an adult, but you feel like a child who does not understand the basic rules of getting a hamburger.
I hear you. It is that gap between your actual intelligence and your ability to decode fast, specific, idiomatic vocabulary in a high-stress environment. But let's look at what actually happened. You got your food. You figured out the lane. And you survived. That is a huge win. Even if the vocabulary tripped you up.
I suppose so. But it made me realize how much specific vocabulary is tied to the drive. Through experience.
That is so true. And it highlights a really important point for our listeners. When we are put on the spot in a second language, especially in a chaotic environment like a drive, through, our brains default to literal translations. We panic, and we grab the first definitions of the words we know.
Exactly. So, please, Sophia, give me the toolkit. How do I navigate a drive through without sounding like I'm planning a road trip around the building?
Okay, let's demystify this. The most common B1, B2 drive through phrases are actually quite logical once you know the context. Let's start with the one that caused the trauma. Pull around or pull forward.
It means to move your car forward a short distance in the same lane to the next station. Got it. No driving around the property required.
Exactly. Now, what about for here or to go?
I know this one, but I always worry I will say it wrong. Sometimes I say, I will eat it in the car, which is true, but it feels a bit long.
I will eat it in the car is perfectly understandable, but the natural, quick response is simply to go. Please. Or if you are eating inside the restaurant, for here. Please?
To go, please. That is simple and natural. What about when they ask, do you want to make that a combo?
Ah! The upsell? A combo or a meal just means adding a drink and usually fries to your main item for a slightly higher price. If you want it, you just say, yes, make it a combo. If you do not, you say, just the sandwich, please.
Just the sandwich, please. That is very clear. What about when you get to the window and you realize you forgot to ask for napkins or ketchup?
That is a very common situation. You can simply say, could I also get a few extra napkins and some ketchup? Please? It is polite, direct, and they will hand them right to you.
That makes me feel so much better. But what about the payment part? I always panic when they tell me the total, and I am fumbling with my card.
The payment panic is real. If you need a second to find your card, it is completely okay to say, give me just 1 second. I am getting my card out.
Give me just 1 second. That is a great phrase. It buys me time without sounding incompetent.
Exactly. And if your card gets declined, which happens to everyone, do not panic. You can just say, oh, that is weird. Let me try a different card.
That is weird. I like that. It takes the embarrassment out of it. It is not my fault. It is just a weird technical glitch.
Precisely. Now, since we are on the topic of drive, through anxiety and the pressure of the speaker box, I want to try something with you. A little role play?
Oh no. I knew this was coming. My imaginary steering wheel is already making me sweat.
It will be fun. I promise. And it is great practice. I am going to be the crackly, fast, talking drive. Through speaker, you are going to pull up, order a meal, and respond to my instructions without driving around the building. Ready?
Okay. I am ready. No perimeter driving. Just a normal customer.
Perfect. Shifts posture. Adopts a fast, slightly staticky, energetic voice. Welcome to Burger Palace. What can I get started for you today?
Clears throat. Speaks clearly. Hi. I would like the number 3 combo, please. To go.
Got it. A number 3 combo to go. Would you like to add a drink to that?
Yes. A medium cola. Please.
All right. That will be $12.50. Please pull forward to the second window.
Takes a deep breath. Uses the technique. Okay. I will pull forward to the next window. Thank you.
Brakes character, smiling widely. Oh, Alex, that was absolutely flawless.
Really. It felt a little bit loud, but I was trying to project over the imaginary static.
It was perfect. You stated exactly what you wanted. Number 3 combo. You clarified the dining option, to go. You added your drink naturally. And when I gave the instruction, you confirmed it correctly. Pull forward to the next window. You sounded like a seasoned drive. Through veteran.
It feels much safer to have a script like that. When I'm nervous, I either explain, I'm sorry, I am new here, I do not know the menu, or I just panic and say, yes, everything, please.
And both of those extremes just slow down the line. The clear, direct approach keeps you moving, keeps the worker happy, and gets you your fries faster.
I am definitely writing pull forward to the next window on a sticky note for my dashboard. But Sophia, I have to be honest. All of this drive, through anxiety, it is deeply tied to a feeling of being a burden.
I hear you. Say more about that.
Well, when you are in the drive, through, you are acutely aware that there is a line of cars behind you. If you take too long to understand the speaker, you feel like you're wasting everyone's time. You think, they are probably angry at me. I am the reason they are late.
That is such a profound and valid feeling. We are naturally empathetic. We do not want to inconvenience others. But Alex, I want to reframe this for you.
Please do. I need it.
The person in the car behind you does not care if you take an extra 10 seconds. They are probably listening to their own podcast, or singing along to the radio, or thinking about their own dinner. They are not judging your English.
That is a really nice way to look at it. I usually just assume the entire parking lot is silently judging my language skills.
They are not, and honestly, native speakers also cannot understand the drive through speaker half the time. Have you ever seen a native speaker roll down their window and yell, "What? Can you repeat that?"
Yes, actually, I have seen that. I thought it was just me being bad at English, but everyone does it.
Exactly. It is a universal struggle. The technology is bad. So, if you do not understand, it is completely acceptable to say, "I'm sorry. The speaker is a little quiet. Could you repeat that?"
The speaker is a little quiet. That is perfect. It blames the technology, not my listening skills.
Exactly. It is a polite, face, saving way to ask for clarification. And remember, the drive through workers want you to get your order right. They would much rather you ask them to repeat yourself than drive around to the front door of the building.
Laughs, fair point. I will never forget that employee's face.
Now, since we are on the topic of drive through survival, I want to do a quick rapid fire scenario game. I will give you a situation, and you're going to give me your immediate, natural response. No overthinking.
Okay. My car is in park, and I have left my ideas of geographic exploration at the speaker box. Hit me.
Scenario 1. You get to the window. You hand them your card, and the machine says, declined.
I would say, oh, that is weird. Let me try a different card.
Perfect. Calm. Factual? And uses the natural phrase, that is weird. Scenario 2. You ordered a burger with no onions, but when you get home, you see onions on it.
I would say, excuse me. I think there is a mistake with my order. I asked for no onions, but this has onions on it.
Excellent. Polite. Direct. And clearly states the problem without being aggressive. Scenario 3. You are at the speaker, and you realize you left your wallet at home.
I would say, I am so sorry. I just realized I forgot my wallet. I need to cancel my order and pull out of the line.
Yes, flawless. It is honest, polite, and tells them exactly what you're going to do next. Scenario 4. The worker hands you your food, but you realize you forgot to ask for ketchup.
I would say, could I also get a few extra napkins and some ketchup? Please.
Gasps Alex? That is a perfect, natural, and highly practical response. You used the exact phrase we practiced, and you solved the problem immediately. That is B2 level life management right there.
Really? I just used the script you gave me.
And you used it perfectly in context. That is how language acquisition works. You hear it, you understand it, and then you make it your own. You should be very proud of that.
I am definitely writing, could I also get some ketchup on my imaginary fast? Food receipt.
Please do. And you know, Alex, this entire conversation really highlights something important about the language learning journey. We focus so much on the big milestones, but the real magic happens in these tiny, chaotic, everyday moments.
The tiny moments.
Yes. The moment you ask them to repeat the order. The moment you realize pull forward means 2 feet, not 2 miles. The moment you confidently say, just the sandwich. Please. Those are the moments where you are actually living the language. You're not just studying it, you're using it to navigate your life and feed yourself.
That is a really beautiful way to look at it. I usually just think of those moments as embarrassing failures, but they are actually proof that I am participating in the daily rhythm of life here.
Exactly. Every awkward question is a victory. Every misunderstood instruction is a lesson learned. You are building your confidence, one drive, through visit at a time.
One drive. Through visit at a time. I like that. I am going to use that.
You should. Now, to wrap up our drive. Through survival guide. I have to ask. Did you ever go back to that specific burger palace?
Laughs. You know what, Sophia? Yes, I did. A few weeks later, I was brave enough to go back. I pulled up to the speaker. I ordered my number 3. And when the voice said, please pull forward to the second window, I moved exactly 2 feet forward.
That is a huge victory. You faced the static. You navigated the vocabulary. And you succeeded.
I did. And if I ever get confused again, I know exactly what to say. I am sorry. The speaker is a little quiet. Could you repeat that?
Laughs, that is the smartest thing you could possibly say. Thank you, Alex. This conversation was exactly what I needed. I feel so much more confident about the idea of going through a drive. Through. And not feeling like an alien behind the wheel.
I am so glad to hear that. Sophia. And to all our listeners out there, if you feel anxious about ordering at a drive, through in English, remember this: it is okay to ask them to repeat themselves. It is okay to take an extra second to find your card. And you never, ever need to drive around the entire building.
And if the voice says pull forward, just remember, they want you to move 2 feet, not embark on a scenic tour of the parking lot.
Exactly. We will see you all next time. Keep your windows rolled down, your orders clear, and bye. Sophia.
Bye. Alex?